again, Akko here, welcome back to Resonant Rise. Now, I want to start by quickly saying I'm still working on getting back into Utopia. I need to do a lot of building, and I don't think it's going to make a good video, so I'm trying to get time, I'm trying to get what I want sorted, and then I'll be back doing episodes on there. I'm basically going to redo my entire base, and I think I mentioned this at the start of the last Resonant Rise episode, actually. I'm going to rebuild my entire base. I'm changing the way I do with power. I'm not enjoying doing bees again. And I've not enjoyed the IC2 stuff I've done on there, so I need a different type of power gen, which I've got ideas for, and I'm going to be getting into that. Unfortunately, because of that, I'm getting into the Age of Steam stuff quite a bit later than everyone else, but I will get back on there. For now, though, I've got so much to do in Resonant Rise. I am concentrating on doing Resonant Rise every other day. I want to start with a few things in here. First thing, a couple of things up here in the tower. First thing is, now, in the stream I did last week, that unfortunately the server crashed, I was trying to work out a way of turning these rituals off without getting in the way of that infusion altar up there. Now, Way of Time said I've missed the obvious one. The obvious one is to move the altar. These rituals only work when they're close to the altar. So what I've done is teleposer. Love teleposers, you know I do. With a basic, just a simple one. Simple, the basic teleposition focus moves just one block. So redstone, a button on the side. The focus in there is set to the teleposer that is underneath the altar. All I've got to do is press that. Boop. It teleposes the altar and the orb across here. Now they're out of range of the ritual. So the ritual stop. Easy as that, no messing about. So I was really overthinking that. That's a really nice, easy little solution to that. I'm very impressed. And thank you very much, Way, for letting me know. Now, up here, I don't want to get one of some infusion crafting. I'm doing building on this server as well. This is partly why this episode's late. I'll get to that in a minute. Just quickly with this, a couple of people told me after the last episode I can put these things in focuses. I've put 2 mana focuses in a charge focus. Mana focus means it uses less mana. In hindsight, I probably should have made just 3 charge focuses. I think these stack. Charge focus means it charges quicker. So I probably should have made 3, because normally that's full, so there's nothing in there. Nothing I can repair at the minute. I'm wearing my jetpack scuba gear outfit. Oh, check me out, by the way. If you've been watching Vagrim's channel, Vagrim's playing this season like a Bond villain. And I'm going to try and do a bit of acting soon, and play the agent to his villain. And because of that, I felt like I needed to be dressed for the part. So, there we go. Got a tux on. Tally ho, what? Okay. And stuff. Right, so yeah, anyway, I've fallen to my death twice. The reason why I've got these on, I've fallen to my death twice today. I'm up to 12. Right, so yeah, I think I'm going to get a bit of infusion done. Now, which means making alembics and stuff like that, which I'll probably have to do off camera. Now, this is all going. I've got a new plan. I like this tower. I'm going to leave it here. I'm not going to knock it down. I'm going to leave it here, but I'm going to move all my stuff across to my new base. Ooh. And the plan I've got for over here. Now, this is probably not going to load in quick enough so you can see what we're doing, but I have mentioned this a bit. I've been building. It's taken me a while. I've got my basement done. It's kind of like an above ground basement. Well, the ground floor is kind of going to be raised. Now, if you are a fan of the Batman films, let me just load all this in. Let's run around here. Whee. So at the minute, all my processing still over here. I've got some stuff to talk about big reactors as well, which I'm going to get into in a minute. If you're a fan of the Batman films, check out Wayne Manor. In real life, it's a place called Willerton House in Norfolk, I think it is, somewhere in England. I think it's Norfolk. I'm not sure. I'm building it. I'm building Wayne Manor. I'm doing it out of these really nice bricks that are from Mariculture that Poppycox did the textures for. So the kind of the Josh's bricks and the Poppy's bricks, and I think I really like the way they look. We've got the chiseled, we've got the brick, and we've got they're called thin brick, but they're also a part of the same brick type. Well, this is my base. Now I've decided I liked having a tower. I've done towers before. I've done a warded tower that I really liked, and I don't think I'll ever surpass my warded tower. So I decided what I'm going to have is up here. So this is going to be the ground floor. Up here is going to be all my magic stuff on this in this building. This building is going to be a couple of floors tall. It's got like a towery bit in the middle. It's got 4 towery bits in the corners. Now, all my magic stuff's going to be above ground in here. So there's going to be a lot of like libraries, tables, bookcases. I said libraries, didn't I? My enchanting stuff, mistcraft stuff. What else we've got up there? Blood magic. So I'm going to have one altar over one side, one altar over the other. I need to work out how I'm actually going to get the altars in. I'm going to move both altars are going to come across here, the self-sacrifice and the sacrifice. I'm going to bring the prison, the witch prison into the basement. So all I've got made so far is the basement, and I've actually got no proper way down from the main floor to it. The only way I can get into the basement at the minute is through here. Nice little chisel door. That I seem to be stuck on because I didn't think that through. Because this gravel's kind of like slightly lower than normal block. I have to put a normal block there, which I ain't got any of. Killing me. Building, should be a block in there of some kind. There we go, let's have a wooden block. Oops, put you back, and that should let me get in. There we go. Yeah, because you run faster on concrete, it seems to be a little lower. Look, see, you drop down a little bit. Anyway, it makes it so you can't get indoors. There we go, we've got a nice little dorm out there now. So, this is my basement. I don't want to put too much stuff in these rooms, but at the minute, I've not moved any of this. This is where it all was. So this is my processing down here at the minute. I've moved the stuff that was in the little shed across there, the little hut thing. And my bed's over here and stuff. I think it was night time, wasn't it? Let's sleep. Oh. Another issue I've got is this place is not lit up the best, as you can see. This bow, by the way, I was using it in the stream. I think I've showed it on an episode. It's from Thorncraft. I didn't know that. I've used some of Poppy's research, some of my own research, and some of Nintendo fans' research. And this is actually from Knowledge Fragments. So you actually need Knowledge Fragments to get the bow, as far as I know. There's a few things from Knowledge Fragments. There is a Primal 1 focus and a Primal staff focus. And this bone, bow, and a couple of other things. As well as the usual things from the fragments, like the top hats and the glasses and stuff for the golems. So there's a couple of little extra things for golems. Sorry, from Knowledge Fragments, and these are part of it. Right, I'll sling them in there for now. That's all very full. I need to make a disenchanter. I want that magic resistance enchant off them. Right, so that's all my stuff down there. My stuff's happily processing away. It's going slow and steady, but we're getting through the ores from the quarrying of the under my base here. So we ain't got a great deal of stuff left. It's currently doing all the silver, I think. I've got some tin left, some lead, some gold. I've got through all the copper and the iron. So copper, got nearly 6,000, which is nice. Iron, we've got 14k, which is very nice. And I've also been making a bit of gelid cryophium. These things, oops. These things use blizz powder, blah blah, niter, which is saltpeter, and blizz powder comes from snowballs and redstone. Easy enough. So I've been running ferrous and dark iron through the induction smelter using cinnabar, which you make with that stuff. So cinnabar comes from the cinnabar ore, which I think I've used it all up. Oh, we've got some left there. Look, cinnabar ore. If you run that through with that cryothium stuff, the liquid version of it, you get this stuff, cinnabar. And this you can use, keep doing that, you can use to get certain things. Now what I've been using it mainly for is two things. I've been using it for, let's find them, ferrous, because it gets you 3 ferrous ingots and a 100% chance of a shiny ingot, which is nice. And I've been using it for dark iron, because you get 3 dark iron per one. So that's what I've been using all that for, which is why I've got quite a bit of dark iron in there. And a not too shabby amount of shiny ingots as well. I've got loads of ferrous stuff. I've not actually done a lot. I've got 233 ingots. So yeah, what I need to do is start building the second floor, which unfortunately is going to take more time again. Now below here, oh, this is a really cool block. Check this out. This is a block from Ice Magic called Everstone. You break it, and after a few seconds, it reforms back to how it was, and you can skin it with any block. So you can see that I've got it skinned with chisel cobble. So it's solid. Break it. I can go through into this sub basement, which I actually built before the basement, and I'm going to expand to be the same size as the house now. And it reforms itself, so it's like a little secret ways in. Now, a couple of things I want to show you in here. I moved the water plant down here. So there's the water plant that was up on the surface. It's just aqueous accumulators into an ender tank, nice and easy. And I started to do the essence farm down here, but I've not done that, and that's what I probably should get on with this episode. I need to start getting mobs done. And then these are just empty rooms behind this bit. And over here, check these out. These are from a mod that was added to the pack quite recently even. They're called Floodlights. They're from a mod called, check this out, called Cut Daylight the area up. They're awesome. They're from a mod called Gary's Lighting, I think. Greg's Lighting. Let's have a look. Greg's Lighting. Where's my I'm not showing up with a mod name under them. This, I believe, is the entirety of Greg's Lighting. What we're using here is these guys, floodlights. They use glowing alloy ingots, which is glowstone blocks or on gold nuggets. So I've got a couple. I've only got a couple because I only had a little bit of glowstone. But I made a couple down here, and they just light up. Looks like what, 6 blocks in each direction, outwards. We've got here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 apart from the one that's right next to it. So if you embed it into the wall, it'll be 6 either side. So you're getting a 13 block wide floodlight, which is very nice. So I'm going to be using these in the basement area upstairs. I'm going to build them into the wall so they look a bit nicer. Yeah, Greg's Lighting, very nice. So that's how I'm lit up down here. Now, let's get on to big reactors. I've been having a bit of issue with this. I've been having I won't say argument with Velo, the main mod pack developer and config decider, but I mentioned last video, so I need to bring this up because I mentioned last video that we changed the config back to the default. Well, Velotician refuses to have it on default. He's keeping it on 11. I think 11's ridiculous. I think you might as well just use a creative cell if you're using it on 11 myself. But I think Dave's going to keep changing it on the server away from default, back to default, so the server will be running on 1. I believe we're running on 1 at the minute. So 4,000 RF. That's more than enough for me. And with the turbine designs that you may have seen in Sice's response to my turbine video, some of the designs Sice used put out a massive amount of power even on default. So there's no need at all to have them any more than default. If I was you and you're running Resonant Raz and you've got access to the config, I'd change it to 1. But just so you know that in Resonant Raz it's staying at 11 for some unknown reason. But anyway, I'll be changing it. If it gets put to 11 on the server, I'm going to stop using this. I love this mod. I just don't think. I think it's just too much power. So as long as it's on 1, I'll be using this for making a turbine. Unfortunately, if it has to go to 11, I'm not going to be using this at all. I'm going to use something else completely, and I'll use this in my monster series and other series. So yeah, that's that covered. But what I'm going to do now then, I guess, is decide what I need to do for this episode. I need to get that mob farm going, don't I? That essence farm going. So for that, let me get a few things ready. I want to get the mob essence going into my ME network. So I'm going to have to create some extra cells items. So I'll see if I've got the stuff for that. Now, something else I want to check out as well is I'm getting a lot of silk touched blocks. I've got like 71 diamond all there. Lapis and redstone goes through the machine. Nether quartz needs block breaking. That does get affected, doesn't it, by silk touch? I always forget with nether quartz. Oops. I meant fortune, that's a little touch. Oh, what, I got 2. And then, well, I don't know. I can never remember if this actually gets affected. I only got 1 then. I need to put another layer of floor under here. Things keep falling through the floor. Anyway. Now, Quarry Plus has a couple of cool items that I'm going to check out. I'm going to check them out on a test world, see how they work. Because if they don't work how I want them to, they're too expensive to make without testing first. We've got this guy, Breaker Plus, and a Placer Plus. So if you look, they actually take a Quarry Plus, which of course takes quite a few things itself. The Placer Plus takes a filler. Diamond block, they're expensive, so I'm going to test them in a single player world, in my test world, and see if they work how I want them to. And if they do, I'm going to use them to place and break the blocks. We should be able to put fortune on that with the enchant mover. So that's one thing I'm going to go check. And yeah, the next thing, I'm going to get some extra cell stuff ready, and we should be able to get our little essence farm going and getting some mob essence into the A network. I should be back when I've got some stuff made. Okay then, let's get on with something instead of me just gabbing all day. Now I've changed that for some Everstone because Everstone's cool. I like it, and I've given myself a way out this way as well, just until I get all the factory in the ground. Weird. So I can get out there as well into this place. So what I want to do now is I've done a couple of other things. One thing I've done is I added Siege Manager. I added the ability to put coal into the sag mill. Coal in a sag mill gets you 3 coal ore, that is. Gets you 3 coal, a chance of a coal dust, a very small chance of a diamond, and a chance of some cobble. So I've got that going in there. I've also just put an output. You see some silicon was in there. I've got an output on there now. I actually need the silicon, so I should come back in here. I think that's weird because of the pick I'm using. So if we come in here, so I'll just show you them real quick. I've added some preferences on here now, which are nice as well. I've got it so that enlarging the group command automatically opens it before it disables it if you press shift. So if I press shift, this is what you used to do. You used to go like that, then you'd have to open that, then you'd have to click on there to go into it. Whereas now with that setting set, all you've got to do is if you click on it there, it'll go straight into that page, which is very nice. So this is the sag mill stuff. Basic in and out on the sag mill. At the minute on the input, all I've got is coal ore. And on the output just brings it back into that ME interface over there, of course. And for the alloy smelter, I've just put stuff I can put in there manually, just puts into there. So that's quite nice as well. So there we go, got a little Ender IO window added to the rest. So you shall go there, my little friend. Now what I want from here is some silicon. A stack of that. I want some gold. I want some redstone. Cool, so out we come. Now, something I did last time, I've checked, by the way, I've checked the block breaker from Quarry Plus. I don't really like it. It throws the diamonds all over the place. Once I've got some mob essence, I'm just going to make the MFI one that uses mob essence to get the fortune. So, but we need to work towards the mob essence first, which is what we're doing, of course. Now, what I did last time, I made this laser plus. What I didn't do was I didn't upgrade it. Now, what you can do with these is, like everything Quarry Plus, which I didn't realise, and I should have thought of straight away, is, yeah, that breaks better, doesn't it? With the enchant mover, I can get my diamond pickaxe with efficiency 5 and unbreaking. I can bang that on the laser plus. And I can give that efficiency 5 and unbreaking. Sweet. So now that laser is an efficiency 5 unbreaking 3 laser, which is very nice indeed. So it's going to go a lot quicker and use less power, which is very nice. So that is actually very much worth making. It looks like everything in this mod is enchantable. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw in that and that. I don't want them. I want 64 of them making, please. And I've got the power turned off. Turn that on. There we go. Now what I want to do is I want to set up. So you see they've got like 24,000 in. How quick are these going? They're pretty quick. Still not as quick as just making them manually. But I just wanted to mess around with that. Now while that's cooking, couple of other things. One of them is I'm out of hydrogen. Now, switch them over. I've got 2 of these jetpacks, and I upgraded them to the armoured ones. I'll show you how you do that in just a minute. Quite cheap. The armoured jetpack on the latest versions has got a recipe now. Get off. So if we look at the recipe on that guy, no, it only shows it if it's empty. American spelling. Of armoured, there we go. So the armoured jetpack is just your normal jetpack, a steel block, a couple of diamond dust, which is just crushed diamond, and a couple of bronze, which is nice. So I thought I might as well, as I'm weighing that quite a bit, I might as well upgrade them. So, and I made a second one, so I've always got one on charge. Now this is wasting a bit of power, but I still don't care about power anymore, do I? So I have got power for days. So let's come into here. I do like that stuff. And I'm going to drop down into here. Now the way I'm going to do this is I've actually pulled, as you might notice, I pulled the ritual back out. I put a door in the side just so we can see out into here. I've covered the walls in stone brick, you can't see. I think that's light from a beehive that was there. No, a rocky hive. I don't know if you can get rid of that light. But, looks like there's a light artifact there. But this is where the lab's going to be, down here. I think I forgot to mention that earlier. The lab's going to be made mostly out of iron blocks, and it's going to be little lab rooms with corridors between it, and that's going to be down under this sub-basement with a suitably sneaky way to get to it. So, right, here's my little room. It's a 5x5. What I'm actually going to do, I pulled the ritual up because I want the ritual up higher. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put the autonomous activators up on the roof, like that. Now, you cannot place berries upside down. What you can do is you can place them on top of this thing, and then you can break this and they'll stay there, which is nice. So that's where we're going to want our berries. Now we actually want a block between the berry and the ritual, so the ritual is going to go there. So I do actually need to I want to be able to turn this on. I was going to go underneath and turn this on and off from underneath, but what I want to actually do is, so I'm going to want to break that one. There we go, that'll do. And get some red alloy wire, which should be in there, I think. So I want this bit to turn off, of course. Now I will be turning this off at some point with a fluid emitter, putting out a signal from extra cells, but not just yet. Does that actually work on there? Works on the door, but that's not what I want. Doesn't seem to be lighting up, does it? Like that. There we go. That works. Cool. So that can go there. So I've got the ability to turn this off. I will cover this up later on, make it look nicer. So my ritual is actually going to go on there. Then it'll actually go where I want it to. Let's have a look. Oh, Skype pop-up, go away. There. Put our master stone there. And now with our ritual diviner, which is going to be my tool bag. Put on that as well. Green growth still on there, good. So there we go. There's the ritual sorted, and now we want a couple of things. We want the sewer to go right on top of the ritual. Now the berries have to be, there has to be a block gap. Normally for green grove you'd expect dirt to be on top of it, so you get your ritual, then a layer of dirt, and then your thing you want to grow. I have done that wrong. Let's break that a second. And what I want to do is activate that first. So boom, there's that guy activated. Then it's starting to grow these, which is good. We want the sewer up there. So you want the sewer at the same level as your berries, so it'll actually collect them. And I want my ender tank next to that, and that should be able to turn the ritual on and off. if I've done it right. So the ritual's off there, and now the ritual should be on. I don't see any little red graphics. Oh, is my LP going down? Certainly going down. Grow my pretties. So what I probably will do though is, just so that the bush can catch this, is I will be covering all this up. Now, that's what we need as well. We need to put our radius to upgrade. So now anything on this level out to the walls, any buried, any XP balls will be captured. So I'm actually going to fill this out like so. I'll use these blocks for now. I'm going to make this a little bit nicer later. This is probably going to end up down the lab once I've got the lab. But for now, I've got room for another 7 more things there, of course. So what we should be getting, instead of me getting the XP, which I might be, looks like I'm having a stone door, we should start seeing some mob essence go into that ender tank. Oh, I keep catching the XP. So I need to be out of there. Did it come through the door? Is it because I've got that on? Now, I'll cut camera, I'll confirm that this is working, and I should be back. Well, almost immediately, as soon as I cut the camera, I had time to cough, and then I noticed there's some mob essence in there, so that's working, wonderful. So the next step then is to start getting this into a usable place. So for that, we are going to... I've not got my fly thing. I've got a jetpack on, I'm an idiot. Let's try that again. Whee! Whee! There we go. So, right, now what I'll do now then is, we've got this ender tank. Now I can, of course, a couple of ways I've got of doing this. One is, I could just put this next to the inventory cable and have a... In fact, this is the way I'm going to do it. I've changed my mind, I was going to do it. I'm going to do it by using the Steve's Factory Manager. So what I'm going to do is, I need, first up, extra cells, start making some extra cells bits. So let's go on with that. Should be pretty straightforward. I think I've got all the bits I need for this. I did quickly check. So first up we need, so go get them. Processors that I was making. That's draining power like a beast. I need to be very careful with that. So there we go. I've made them for the sake of making them in there. I probably will just auto craft them using the quartz knife once I get auto crafting going. But for now, you know, I should have slept, and I am going to. This place is very much not mob friendly at the minute. There's loads of dark areas, so I will sleep just to be on the safe side. Now, this, by the way, if you right click it with a hammer from Carpenters, you can change the bed cover to several different designs. That's very nice, isn't it? I've often wondered about that. I never knew. Right then, so I've got some basic processors. That's what I was after. So now I can make this thing. So I need an ME access terminal, which needs nothing. I've got it all. Wonderful. So ME access terminal, throw that back in, and then we need a ME Certus quartz tank. So I made some quartz glass, just quartz dust and glass, and that lets me make. Oh, might have a ME cable. So some more of that then. I'll have a little 15 for now. So let's make one of these tanks. There we go. Now that can go back in there. And the other thing we're going to need is a ME covered cable, which is just an ME cable and a bit of wool. Very nice. And looks like my inventory's full, my chest. So we'll put them in there. And there's our fluid terminal. So that's like your access terminal, but for fluids, Dahoy. There we go. So now we've got a fluid terminal. Got no fluid storage yet though. next thing up, we need... Now, what I was going to make was... I was going to make a ME fluid import bus. I'm not going to do that. I'm actually going to make an ME fluid interface instead. So for that, we need one of them. We're going to do 3 buckets. Have we got any buckets in there? Probably not. Nope. How many buckets have I got on me? Waste not one. No, I've only got one. Cool. So I'm not making buckets for the sake of it. I hate to have a load of buckets. It winds me up. Right, iron and ME interface. I think I've got an interface in here. I have. And some iron. I'll have you. And I want one more. Gets me a ME fluid interface. Cool. So what I'm going to do with this is attach it to ME network and attach it to Steve's factory manager. This is very much like a normal ME interface. You can export liquids out of it, and I think you can bring liquids into it as well. So what I should be able to do here is I should be able to create a new what I'm going to call it. It's going to be in an R in it. It's going to be in E. That's my basic items. Item input. So I'm going to want a new trigger, liquid input, liquid output. So I'll quickly throw this together. So this is going to be liquid input. Now what I'm going to do is, so I've done this, is I'm going to add the brine to this as well. Once I've got a second cell made. I've not actually checked if I've got the materials for the cells. I might have to cut to do that. So input tank is going to be this one with mob essence in. We're going to come in from the bottom. We are going to whitelist this to mob essence. Don't need to do that because that's the only thing that should be in that tank. There could get sewage in that tank, but as long as I don't go walking around in there, that shouldn't be an issue. And the output is going to be the ME fluid interface. Sweet. Now we can't do anything yet because I do need a fluid cell. So let's see, we'll make one of these. Fluid storage cell. These fluid crystals. Diamond. I ain't got any diamond processors made. No, I ain't. Okay, I have to come back. I'll get some more bits made. I do actually want a full size one of these if I can make one. So I'm going to work towards that. So the Alltech diamond. It's the same as the other versions where you need 27 of the basic one to make a full size of the big one. So I'll get that done. I'll be back in a bit. Okay, I got the good stuff done. I've got 27 of these fluid storage cells. Now I'm going to go straight for the bigger one. Like I said, I had the bits for it, so why not? So I'm going to want 9 of them, and then 3 of them, and then 1 of them. Easy as that. Wonderful. Now if we put that in there, we should be able to make us a 64k. Ooh, what else do we need? 3 more of these things then. 1, 2, 3. Wonderful. And is that everything? It is. Awesome. So there we go. We've got a 64k fluid cell. Sweet. So now first thing I want to check is, can this go in there? Looks like it can. Interesting. Let me make a bucket. Oops. Brain fart then. I didn't know what I was doing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Bucket. Now I'm going to grab a bucket's worth of this mob essence. Now this filled up real quick and my ritual was going down there, so I dealt with it. I'll show you how really quick. Little sidetrack here. I changed what I was doing down here. I've got the laser crafting now, so I've fallen back to what I use quite a lot. I possibly use too much, but it works so well. Is the old iron gate from sorry, not iron gate. The iron gate from BC Silicon and red pipe wire. What this does is it's detecting when the ender tank's full. If the ender tank's full, tank full, red pipe signal. Red pipe signal goes round to another gate on the bottom of the how cool them noises, by the way. Straight out of Aliens. So that comes under here. And puts out a redstone signal to the ritual stone, which turns the ritual off. So my ritual, if we switch to that mode, you can see it's not running at the minute because the tank's full. So that'll only actually pull liquids when the tank will allow it. Now I am going to have to set my witches up once I've got this running, especially for the 64k seller, because that's going to be a massive amount of liquid, I think. Mob essence. Let me up. Anyway, I did that. While I was doing that, I also very quickly... Turn you off, noisy. Very quickly, I added a simple gate over here as well. Let's fly again, it's quicker. I added a simple gate to this. This is just a basic gate, and that is set to work scheduled, which is a condition that this table puts out, which is very nice. Work scheduled, redstone signal, and I changed the energy cell here to be active on a high signal, and I've reduced its output a bit. So next time I run something in here, that'll only put out power when there's something in here to be done. So I could have something in there, as long as this side isn't clicked, then no power is going to get wasted in these guys, which is very nice. Right, back we go into here. So the video's getting a bit long, I think. I might have to wrap up after this. I was hoping to get more done today, but like, I hope to get them more all the time, to be honest, but it's just not happening. Right, so what can I do? Can I say... Go away, Skype pop up again. Will that format... You can have 5 things in here. I don't know if these format though. Let's try it. Liquids 1 format. Partition precise. Interesting. So that should let more essence in. Should let it in anyway. So we'll actually we'll put it in here. So this just goes in your drive like usual. Sweet. So no 5 types used. What I can do now is into the Steel Factory Manager. Let's sort this out then. So I had all this sorted, didn't I? Yep. So all I need to do is connect that to that. No, okay. No direction is active. No direction is active. Targets. Silly me. If I missed that out. That's on a blacklist because this is just input yet. And that I've actually whitelisted it to only that. So that's fine. That should start putting mob essence into my network. And it is. 19 buckets worth. Sweet. So that means the partitioning works on that. So at the minute, the only liquid that can come in onto that is mob essence. How many buckets it'll hold, I just do not know. There's nothing, it doesn't really say what the limits, liquid wise, the limits are. I think the basic one is 256 buckets. This could hold a massive amount, and as you'll see, my my LP network is going to start going down pretty quick. Do we actually see it in there? Let's have a look. No, we don't. Okay. What you can do if I wanted to output liquids from this is if I put a mob essence bucket in there, then we can. It will store some in here as well as putting some into here. Yeah. So that's actually going down. That's okay. That's okay. But yeah, so you can export out of this as well. So it's just like a normal. Let's clear that. How do I clear that out? Empty bucket, I guess. Put you in there, thank you, and then I cleared it out. So just right or left click, cleared it out. So that's nice. So that should be going back into there. Yep. And there we go. I've got mob essence coming in that I can use for a myriad of things. Of course, spawning mobs, fortuning my silk touch stuff, and other stuff as well. So I'm going to leave it there. Thank you as always for watching. I hope it was entertaining, and sorry it's been a bit late coming up. I'll try and get tomorrow's up at the right time. Cheers. Bye.